Okay, so Samsung is bringing the heat with their new announcement. It's crazy. Getting into the game of personal finances and financial services. So Square has their cash card, right? Apple has their Apple Card. And these are other examples of traditional tech companies who are now getting into financial services. And the latest is Samsung with their entry, the introduction of their new platform, Samsung Money. And it's really quite interesting. So just to compare, like Apple Card, it was a big deal because this was like, it's from Apple. So there was like a demand for the product. It was unique. It was built into their ecosystem. And it was cool. It represented an innovation in personal finance, right? But then we saw news reports about discrimination and how their algorithm it seemed like it was built to, exclude people from participating. And regardless of how nefarious or intentional that was, the fact is still the same that Apple was leveling up the personal finance space. Their Apple Card functions like a charge card and a credit card. Think Amex, right? And then the Capital One, like your venture card. So there are no fees for the Apple Card, but if you have a balance at the end of the month, you will accrue interest between 12 and 24%, I think, on that balance, but there's no fees related to having the card. As opposed to like an Amex card, for example, my Amex card, there's a $550 fee just to have the card. So I'm not sure. I mean, first of all, that's what makes the Apple Card so valuable, right? With that no fee. With the Amex, if you're going to benefit and use the services that they provide, like the Amex concierge, their airport lounges, the point system that they have with the various retailers, then maybe it may be worth it for you. But if you're not, there's really no reason other than just to show off, I guess, or floss. There's really no reason to have an Amex card if you're not going to benefit from those services. And they also advertise like, oh, there's no spending limit, and that's technically not true. There is a unspoken limit. So if you're going to need to talk to them about that. Like if you're going somewhere, you're planning on making a large purchase, you got to call in and then let them know, and then they'll approve it. And I know because I tested this out, so I know that this is factual. So a little bit of trickiness in the advertising there, but it's not. So the Apple Card in a lot of ways is very similar to that. But with the release of Samsung Money, Samsung is really upping the ante and changing the game with this service. It's launching in the US first. It's coming this summer 2020, depending on when you're watching this video. And here's what we know so far. Samsung Money is the result of a partnership with SoFi, right? SoFi is awesome, great company. So what's interesting about this is it functions like a checking account. They call it a cash management account, but either way, you can direct deposit your entire paycheck or portion of your paycheck into it and use it. One of the things that they do give you also, similar to all the other services, is a physical card. So this one comes with a MasterCard logo, and you can use it anywhere MasterCard is accepted. So it really functions like a debit card. But one of the really cool features, right? To me, there's two really cool features that stand out. The first one is the infrastructure of the system and how they set it up. And I think that this is really genius. And I think that a lot of people are going to be implementing this sort of workflow into their, if they can, right, into their back-end operations. What's cool about Samsung Money is it takes any money that you deposit in there gets distributed across 6 banks. There's 6 banking partners, which means that each one of the banks, you can have FDIC insurance of up to $250,000. Which means if you have money spread out across 6 banks and you can get up to $250,000 of FDIC insurance, you technically can get up to $1.5 million of FDIC insurance, right, against actual cash. So you have 1.5 million. It's one interface, and you manage it. Basically, Samsung Money and SoFi kind of does all the management on the back end, and you get 1.5 million of FDIC insurance on your savings. Now, I don't know. First of all, you can do this manually, and I think that is the innovation. That's what makes this a game changer. It's not likely that most of the people who are going to be using Samsung Money will ever need this, right? But the idea that you can distribute your funds automatically across 6 financial institutions through one single front end is truly an innovation. Like I said, Samsung Money is launching this summer, and you can sign up to the wait list now. I will put the link in the description. I am signed up. I'm looking forward to this. I've already requested a demo card so we can do an unboxing and see what it looks like and get a feel for the card. And obviously their service is aimed, right, for Galaxy users, right? They want you in their ecosystem. So I'm not a Galaxy user, but I would think about maybe going into the Samsung Galaxy ecosystem for having access to something like this. The other interesting thing about this is that there is a rewards program tied to your Samsung Money account. And for me, this is super interesting because I don't think that there are any reward programs that are tied directly to debit card spending. If you know of one, put it in the comments, let me know, because, my family, we do a lot of, debit card. Well, we transitioned over to credit cards because we have a really good points. Amazon has a great, points. We do a lot of shopping on there. So, but typically those are reserved for traditional credit cards, which many people don't have access to. There are a large number of people that use debit cards for spending and buying, and really that's how they run their lives. So the fact that they're enabling a points program for that kind of spending is incredible. The impact of their point system is for me, I think, right? And I mean, what do I know? I think that that's going to be something big that translates to their bottom line, because if you accrue points that you can then spend inside the Samsung ecosystem, and you do it at the debit card level, so people are using these cards, right, for their everyday expenses. You're not at risk for any cash or any overdraw fees or anything like that. Number one, people buy refrigerators and dishwashers and televisions and sound bars and all that kind of stuff. So you can see how this will translate into the Samsung ecosystem of other products, and have them maybe take market share in other areas that are not even related to personal finance. I just think that this is a genius move on Samsung's part. This is definitely the next level here in personal finance innovation. And I haven't yet seen any information on what would disqualify you from using the service. They're not checking for credit worthiness because they're not extending credit, right? So I'd be interested to see if this is just open to anyone and sign up for a Samsung, card, and everyone has access to it. Unlike the Apple Card, which functions more like an Amex. It also seems clear which demographic markets they are targeting. Apple seems to be targeting the wealthy consumer, And Samsung, with their Samsung Money product, seems to be aimed at everyone else. I gotta say, I think Samsung wins, honestly. It's offering unique features that aren't available anywhere else right now, anyway. I think that everyone's gonna use it, to be honest. And I think yes, there's been innovation in the personal finance space, but I really think that this is going to bring a massive innovation to the market, to the mass market. Not just in terms of personal finance, but more importantly, in terms of the accessibility to personal finance tools. Personal finance tools, right? Using those, education, that's what cultivates a culture of financial literacy and awareness. This is super, super important. I could totally see myself using something like this with my children to teach them about, personal finance. So this is good. This is good for everyone. So yeah, good job, Samsung. I can't wait to give it a test drive. I'm looking forward to it. I'm signed up. And like I said before, we're trying to get a demo card to do an unboxing to see what the package is like and the experience. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. I definitely didn't see this coming. And I'm looking forward to trying it out. So great job, Samsung. That's it for now. We're going to keep monitoring this. And, as news and updates come out, we will, we'll let you know. But until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.